Looking at the Bears' win over the Los Angeles Rams, we have to call it the improvement of the offensive line this past week. Not top in the league, but noticeable jump that helped spark a much-needed run game for this offense. Bears had good and bad news from a personnel standpoint as well, which Nate Davis showed maybe some time on the bench was good for him. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Rohde, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Now, before I get more in today's show about the Bears offensive line, make sure to like this video if you're happy with how the Bears run game got going this past week against the Rams, along with commenting your top offensive linemen on this roster right now. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help us hit our goal of 18,750 before week 5 against the Carolina Panthers. So let's just jump into it. Overall, from this offensive line, there was improvement, and it even shows on paper. The Bears jumped as an offensive line, according to PFF, with a pass blocking now 15th in the league, according to PFF's grading system, which honestly, I would take it. That's top half of the league. What a jump. Last week, it was at 20. Run blocking, 27th, a jump from 31st last week. So I'll take the small wins because we obviously saw that with a huge jump in the running game by Rashawn Johnson, DeAndre Swift, and even Caleb Williams himself. Where is Khalil Herbert? I don't know, to be honest with you guys, but I hope everything is okay. And if something's cooking from a trade perspective, I would like to see it. But a big reason why for this jump, got to give credit where credit's due to that right side of the offensive line. Nate Davis, Matt Pryor, and Darnell Wright all had very high grades overall the last couple of weeks in the Bears win over the Rams. And Matt Pryor, again, someone who started at right guard, moved to left guard due to the Teven Jenkins injury that happened this past week that took him out of the game. I'll hit on that in a little bit. He did pretty darn good as well. Davis, though, obviously, that's the big shock right here. I think he earned himself his job back. He was benched this past Friday, according to Matt Eberflus, which over for Matt Pryor. And maybe some time on the bench woke Nate Davis up because he scored an 80.4 pass blocking grade for Caleb Williams this past week in over 70 snaps for the against the LA Rams. And he was the best pass blocker on that offensive line for the Chicago Bears. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little zoomed in on him during the live stream that we had, and I was pretty impressed by Nate Davis overall. Not a great sexy game, the run game, not so good, but his pass blocking was solid this past week. Also want to call out, because Nate Davis did solid and Matt Pryor did solid, Darnell Wright had a pretty good week too. There was only 2 plays where I really saw him not looking like his usual self, but Darnell Wright looked okay. Looked a lot better than the week before, to say the least. It's progression. He's getting more. That back injury is still probably bothering him, but I don't know what the Bears did in order to get him up to speed, but he looked a lot better. So the right side of the offensive line did pretty good. And Braxton Jones is currently our best overall offensive lineman at the moment, according to PFF. Teven Jenkins, not off to a great start. I'll get into that in a little bit. But Braxton Jones is scoring over a 72 in every single category. Overall, pass blocking, run blocking, and coverage blocking. So minus his penalties, Braxton Jones is actually doing a decent job so far. So this offensive line, progress. That's what I want to see. But Chris Morgan, he definitely was feeling the heat this past week because that's why this offensive line took a decent jump. And someone that was feeling the heat this past week, offensive guard Nate Davis. He got his job back due to Teven Jenkins' injury, but he did a nice job coming into his return on the field. Nate Davis, again, was benched by Matt Eberflus this past Friday for Matt Pryor, who honestly, he did okay. I know I'm saying good. From an overall league perspective, he's not doing fantastic. From the Bears offensive line, though, he's doing okay. Past 2 games, let's go through his grades real quick for Matt Pryor. 65.6 overall against the Indianapolis Colts with a 61.6 run block and a 67.9 passing grade. Against the LA Rams, 54.7 overall, 55.2 in the run block, and 51 passing. Here's what I want to say, though, is that you take an offensive lineman, you flip him around from position to position. He was a second string guy. Always next man up mentality. He brings a lot of energy to this team, though. Plays with a lot of swagger, but his stats just aren't very good looking. In 2 games as the Bears starting guard, he has given up 2 sacks, 5 pressures, and 3 quarterback hurries. But again, I love his energy on the field. It's not easy to move from position to position in the middle of the game. but he hasn't been playing as great as maybe we are thinking. So I'm hoping if Matt Pryor does get the nod again this week, especially with Teven Jenkins out, we see a big increase. He knows that he has to do better. He's obviously a fun guy to have on the field. But overall, Nate Davis, though, really came in and did a good job. And honestly, He's playing better than he was last year. As crazy as that may sound, let's go through Nate Davis real quick because that 80.4 pass blocking grade was awesome. Last year for the Chicago Bears in 2023, Davis had a 52.9 overall, 55.3 run blocking grade, and a 47.9 passing. Passing was absolutely terrible considering the year before he was 66.8 with the Titans. But this year he has improved. His overall grade is 53.2. And again, guys, I'm not saying he's an all-star by any means, but 53.5 running and a 68.9 pass blocking. So he's getting Caleb Williams really solid protection. Career high there, and obviously the big game this past week against the LA Rams with an 80.4 pass blocking grade is obviously pretty impressive. Only one quarterback hurry allowed as well, no sacks and no other pressures. So he did a solid job coming in, especially all the criticism that he was receiving. Am I defending that he should be back? Not exactly. It looks like he might be because Teven Jenkins' injury is pretty serious, but he was called upon, went through some adversity. Not bad. We'll see what he ends up doing over the next couple of weeks here. But Nate Davis right now did get his job back. Now, before I get more into today's video, I would like to thank today's sponsor, MyBookie. It's that time of the year again. Football is back, and MyBookie is here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops for incredible promotions, such as weekly risk-free boost on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. And if it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. It's that simple. But that's just the beginning. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes to their Super Survivor and Square contest. Get your entries in now for your chance to win huge cash rewards. When you're ready to get started, use my promo code Another Year to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money with my promo code Another Year now before you even place a bet. So now quickly, let's go into Tevin Jenkins' injury, which Matt Eberflus confirmed on Monday that he said that Jenkins has bruised ribs is considered day-to-day right now. To be honest, knowing people who have broken ribs, even just bruised their ribs, overall ribs injuries, this man is not day-to-day. You could see he was in discomfort down on the field. And I think a break might be good for this guy because he's not having the best season so far. So I would put Teven Jenkins not on IR, but maybe send him out this upcoming week against the Carolina Panthers, who I'm not too worried about because before he got hurt, he was getting cooked by the LA Rams. 46.2 pass blocking grade, 51.3 run blocking grade. I'm not even going to go to his overall, but in this season alone as well, he's not doing very strong either. 64.5 overall grade, 60.2 run block, and 66.8 pass blocking grade. Comparison to last year, he had an 80.7 overall, 82.2 run block, and 65.9 pass block. So Teven Jenkins, not off to the ideal start. This guy wants a contract extension. This injury to his ribs obviously doesn't help things out. But if I was the Bears and I was Teven, I would look at this as an opportunity. Maybe, hey, let's get my head on right. Let's get the body right. Let's heal up a little bit. Let's come back and be the best lineman in the league. So not a good start for Teven Jenkins. Wishing him a speedy recovery, and I hope you guys are too. But that is the update on our left guard. But as always, bear down, baby. Monday, we're here. Victory Monday, by the way. Or if you're watching on Tuesday, still Victory Tuesday. Bears are 2-2. Got the Carolina Panthers coming up this week. I will have a full breakdown for you guys coming up in a little bit. But with that, thank you, as always, for tuning in this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, and let's hear it loud and proud. Bear down, baby.